All right, if you want to improve your jump technique, this is the video for you. This is an excerpt from one of the presentations I gave at Dunk Camp, where all the best dunkers and highest jumpers in the world come to teach you how to jump higher. And here, me and CJ are analyzing everyone's jump technique. Hope you guys enjoy the video.
We're gonna start with looking at Jordan doing a 360 scoop. We're gonna kind of break down what makes a good jump for 2 foot. And then we're gonna look at some of your jumps.
Okay, so real quick, I've talked about this a lot in my videos. I'm curious if you guys know the answers to these questions. There's 2 things that a jump approach does. Do you guys know what those 2 things are? Nope. There we go. Accelerate and lower. That's the whole point of an approach. The reason you want to accelerate is because you want to be moving fast. The faster you're moving, the higher you can potentially jump. And then look how low he is. The lower you are, the more time you can spend applying force into the ground, the higher you're going to jump. So the way you accelerate is by running, right? So you can see here, he's running pretty fast into his approach. And then acceleration is a change in velocity. So he's going from slow to fast, to faster and faster and faster. And then on his penultimate step, he accelerates the most. And then he lowers through the penultimate. So the point of the penultimate is to lower you without losing speed. So I know, Paco, you mentioned going knee to knee. That is something that visually I like to see in an approach. So right as his heel is hitting the ground, good jumpers go knee to knee. So you can see his knees are parallel to each other when looking at it from the side, okay? Now, knee to knee isn't something that you force. It happens as a result of taking a long penultimate. So now let's look at where he starts his penultimate step from. Behind the free throw. Some of you guys are starting, go to where he plants. His plant leg touching the ground. Some of you guys are starting your penultimate there, where he's ending it, okay? I want you guys to start your penultimate from farther away. You're gonna be able to push more into it, and then you're gonna be able to get that block foot around sooner. And then the timing of the last 2 steps is really quick. So play it full speed. Look how little time he spends on the ground. The last 2 steps. It is a very short amount of time. Specifically, it is 0.28 seconds. And you can, somebody that has a slow-mo Jordan video can fact check me on this. I've seen anywhere from Anthony Height, his ground contact time was like 0.22 seconds, which if you guys don't know how fast that is, that's like as fast as a good 1-footer, and he's doing it off both feet.
Wow, aren't you learning so much? And if you want me to teach you personally to jump higher and analyze your technique, just how I'm doing it with these athletes, go to thstrength.com. It's 90% off your first month for a short time. Take advantage now, because the deal might end tomorrow or something. I'm just kidding. It's not ending tomorrow, but it might end soon. So go check it out.
Some jumpers like Darius Clark, who we're going to see jump here on Thursday, has the Guinness World Record for the highest jump. He's like at 0.34, I think, when I looked at it, which is on the longer end of the continuum. But it's still just a blink of an eye that's happening. And the biggest cue that I like to use for that, and I always did this, even when I was first learning how to jump, is really fast 1-2. Boom, boom. Like, I literally I'm almost thinking like big penultimate and jump stop. So I'm like, big penultimate and then really quick on those last 2 steps. I would cue those 2 things. If you're not getting knee to knee, you need to take a way bigger penultimate, and then you need to focus on the rhythm of those last 2. Rhythm is like the time, it's like the pattern of a sound, right? It's like there can be boom, boom, or it can be boom, boom. We want the second one, boom, boom. That's what you should be. I think in like sounds, right? Or like I used to count my steps. When I was first working on lengthening my penultimate, I would do a 4-step approach, and I would go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I was thinking in my head, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Some other, it's crazy. I studied Jordan. Like I know his exact approach. Like how I learned jump technique is by watching this over and over and over and over again. So I would go back to his first step where his right foot hits the ground. So I would look, this is technically the start of his approach. That first walking step was kind of like to set his rhythm. Here's when he starts actually generating speed. Pause it right there. What I would do, because we're both left-right jumpers, we're both about 6'1", I would look, all right, what position is he in? Then I would screenshot my jump at that exact position. Where am I? All right? So and then I would see, all right, where's his foot planting? He's doing like a flat-footed contact, a little bit of a rolling action, heel. But then when you go to the next step, he's planting on the forefoot, right? Look, I knew already because I studied this. But yeah, he's planting on the forefoot because he's planting underneath his hips, which is going to help him to generate more momentum without breaking, right? Then on the right step, I know he's in a quarter squat. He's doing a rolling action. Now he's rolling heel, okay? And I'm looking where he's taking off from. I'm looking at the joint angles, and then I'm mimicking it. Every point of the approach, I would record same angle, go back and compare it. And when I tell you guys, I spent hours. Like when I was age 16 to 18, it was hours, not minutes, not watching an Instagram reel every now and then. It was I'm on YouTube and I'm doing the frame by frame button for hours on hours on hours, and then going back to my technique and comparing it. And that is the best thing you can do for technique analysis, okay, and improving your technique.
All right, I didn't want you to talk about breaking yet because maybe see if anybody picks up on that.
All right, cool. So let's look at some other jumps. We're gonna look at what's good. We're gonna look at what's bad, and I'm gonna ask you guys what you see first before we go into it, okay? So he's asking, does being low and fast, is that just a 2-foot thing, or does it apply to 1 foot? Because he struggles to get low off of one leg, right? Like, how can you jump from a half squat position off one leg? The thing is the important part to be low on the approach is the approach, not the actual, specifically off 1 foot, you're not like bending your knee. So lowering happens here. So like off 1 foot, if you look at guys like Sutherland or any insane 1 foot jumper, it's the step prior on the penultimate step. They're here, and then they're rolling through like shin parallel to the ground, and then they're like, boom, right? So I'm low here, not because I'm jumping from this position in one leg and I'm like trying to like, right? I'm low because I'm leaning back from this step being low, like a lunge position. And then from here, mind you, this is happening really fast. So imagine like a pole vault pole hitting the ground, right? It hits like at a shallow angle and then it goes like that. So the same thing off 1 foot, it's like, boom, and then you go up.
We'll get into that.
And Jay Clark's the pro with 1 foot, so he'll cover it more in depth, but that's from my puny 40-inch vertical.
When you're doing your frame by frame, do you have like an angle that you prefer the best to take the footage from?
Yeah, so best angle to record to analyze your technique is perpendicular to the penultimate step. What's interesting, this is just an unrelated side point, if you want to go viral on Instagram, that's also the angles that tend to do best, is like close up, handheld, record parallel to the penultimate step. Like on this part of the approach, like the camera should be like right here. Yeah, let's look at this. All right, what is he doing good? We get a raise of hands. Anybody see anything that's being done well? So he's saying he starts to lower like early in the approach. He sets himself up to get low. So yeah, you can see here, like look at his knee angles on like he's leaning to the left, he's curving. Fun fact, curving on your approach, like slanting, is another way to lower your center of mass, right? It's like I was telling you, you don't just lower by bending your legs, you can lower by leaning here, right? So he's leaning to the side. He also is bending his knees early on, right? He's like in a quarter squat, getting really low. Now he's hinging at the hips. That's really good. I saw yeah. He's using his forefoot on the initial approach steps. So when you see a sprinter run, sprinters run on the ball of the feet, right? You don't want to run on your heels because to plant on your heel, you have to plant in front of you, and anytime you plant in front of you, you're braking. Right? There's forces going this way. Versus if you plant on the forefoot directly under your hips, you're able to generate momentum and run forward, right? Yeah, he said that Jordan planted on the penultimate step on the heel slightly. That there is a slight, it's more of it's not braking, he's more rolling through it because he's able to like lower more effectively. And then he's also planting on the heel's bad when it's extreme and it's like you're super dorsiflex like that, and the foot super out in front of you, versus this isn't an extreme dorsiflexion. It's still just slightly in front of the hips. There's not a lot of braking going on. You're also gonna naturally break more if you run in too quickly. So I see all the time when athletes try to like lengthen their penultimate step, they run really fast and then they just break. And then it's kind of like the entire first part of the approach was wasted, right? So to fix that, you would just run slower and kind of maintain velocity through the approach. And then the acceleration, I'm thinking just on the penultimate step. It's kind of like smooth, 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 and then all hell breaks loose when you take your penultimate step. When I tell athletes to speed up too many times, or when I say accelerate, they just start sprinting, right? That's not, acceleration doesn't mean velocity. They're two different things. Acceleration just means a change in velocity. I'd rather have someone start slow as hell and still accelerate than someone be a speed demon and then just break, because there was no point in that. Okay? That was actually a really good jump. I actually wish it would have been recorded from the side, because I can't. Sometimes, like, to answer your question, there's nothing I saw from that angle, but maybe recording it from the side, there would have been things that popped out to me. So let's keep that in mind for, by the way, the rest of camp, I want the side angle recorded. All right. So let me I want one thing that he did good, and then I want one thing that you guys could see could be improved. So what do you guys see that's good here?
Somebody new.
So powerful arm swing. Yeah, very good arm swing. And not just powerful. I was talking to Paco about this yesterday, because I was fixing his arm swing. The timing of the arm swing is more important than how powerful it is. And this is timed super well. You can see here as his block foot is hitting the ground. The block foot is the last foot to contact the ground. His arms it's the point, like if you guys go like this, you can feel the blood rushing to your fingertips at the very bottom. You want that sensation of the blood rushing to your fingertips as the block foot's hitting the ground. So it looks like this. Boom. They're like lined up. And the cue I was telling Paco yesterday, it's almost like there's a string that attaches your outside arm with your block foot leg. So anytime I move, I'm like, they're connected, right? So when I'm doing my approach, they're connected, right? They're timed together, they're still connected, they're still connected. So when I say timing, anytime you hear me say timing in the videos, or if I'm coaching you guys in the next couple days, that's what I mean by timing, is your arms and your legs need to be in sync. So this is really good timing, and it's why he's able to get a really good jump despite some other mistakes he's making. So powerful arm swing, timing is good. So now I want to see something that could be improved. So he's saying he could plant his plant leg more towards the right. Yeah, his foot. So you're saying he should plant more like that? What problem does that solve? So you're saying it blocks his horizontal momentum better and turns him? So I actually don't mind planting like that. The big thing that I see with the plant leg is there any twisting. If you're twisting at all, that usually means you're leaking energy. So I don't know if you guys seen guys, like it almost looks like the plant leg like slips. If that's not happening, I actually like it. So if I'm seeing like knee to knee, so he's going knee to knee, there's no twisting going on. And the reason I don't mind it, if you watch how I plant, I'm super straight on. I'm like, boom. Versus if you compare T-Dub as an example, he's a right-left guy, and his like foot is like freaking sometimes facing behind him, right? So I actually don't mind. I don't mind it being like that, as long as he's not leaking energy. Something that could be improved. I think this is a good time to mention the penultimate step, right? Literally the only thing I see here on his approach is the penultimate step is too short. So I would want him to plant it, and this is how I fix all penultimate steps. I would tell him to plant his penultimate step like 3 feet farther behind him. To do that, I would probably put a marker on the ground. Yep, right there where the cursor is. I would put like a water bottle there. Step 2, go to where he takes off from. You still have to plant from right there. So I would put a second marker right where you want to plant from. And then now go to the beginning of his approach. Or it might be slow-mo, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But you can see here, he's running with pretty high intent, big arm swings. To have him fix his penultimate step, I would have him not run in as fast. And then the arms, I don't like seeing this on the approach. I like to see the arms like tight to your body, relaxed, and then on the penultimate step, that's when you kind of go aggressive and big ranges of motion with it. I have one thing for him. This is just a quick tip. This would help you a lot, and it helped when I was doing my 1 foot. and then it helped me a lot when I was learning 2-foot at first, is I pay attention to find someone that's your height with your plant style, right? So how tall are you? 6'5"? You know what's funny is the example I was gonna bring was somebody else 6'5". So Zach Levine, he's 6'5", right? I look at someone who's my height, same plant, and then I notice where they start and how many steps they take. Right now, you're starting from, where is he starting, the 3-point line? And you're taking like 8 steps. Zach Levine, he starts, I think like at the NBA 3-point line, takes 3 steps, just 3 steps, that's it. So what I would say to you is start at the 3, I mean, you're not Zach Levine, your outputs aren't the same, but try to start just inside the college or the high school 3-point line and just take 3 steps. I think Brooke, it was the same thing for you. Brooke was taking like 6 steps starting at the 3-point line. For her, I would find mind you, there isn't a lot of girl dunkers, but high jumpers. There's elite high jumpers that are women. I would look to see how much ground they're covering with each step. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna force you, I forgot your name, but he was saying go faster. Easy way to go faster, take 3 steps from here. Because guess what? If you don't go fast, you're not gonna get to the rim. You're gonna have to be very aggressive with each step. So I would literally be like, all right, stand here. I'm gonna take 3 steps and jump from the same spot you normally do.
Give these guys a hand.
Thank you.